Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we're just gonna jump into it. I want to do some reactions to some of the videos that I've been seeing about the backlash between myself, Exoticals United, Blunt Girly, and some other Exoticals in the group, and also some of the I call them the OG Exoticals like Gigi and them, and because I've been watching everyone's videos, I've been very nosy, you guys. So I was watching one of Gigi's videos and she was saying something about, when it comes to the exoticals and how, some of us are like mentally ill, or like, do you feel like it's a cult or something? And I did kind of brush over this in one of my other videos about this topic, about how when it comes to the exotical space, people like to uplift like the mentally ill people. And I've always spoke out against that. And if someone who I do like their videos and I do support them, even if it is EU, if they say something that I'm not with, I will disagree with it. And there were certain things that was very proud about disagreeing with. And what people like to do with the exotical space, they like to act like it's a cult and we all have groupthink. But the thing is, if we were all one-track minded, we would never get into arguments. We would never fall out with each other, you know? And when it comes to Blunt Girly, we've always had different talking points. That's what made me so confused when she was so upset about the Halle Bailey thing. That's what really like turned me off, because it's like, and I remember like the first time, and I love oppository opinions. I think they're interesting. I'm curious about going to school to be like a lawyer. So when people give me oppository facts, it actually like feeds me. Like I love that shit. Like that's why I always say I don't delete comments. I don't know who's been doing this lately, but there's just no trend in my comment section to act like I deleted your comment. When prior to any of this drama, I've always said I don't delete comments. Always. So try again. But yeah, that's why I like people disagreeing with me, because one, I'm not always right. And two, the more information you have, the better conclusions you can come to. But what really gets me with the whole, exoticals like a call and groupthink, and some of the talking points in Gigi's video I did kind of agree with, because when it comes to like, and this is something Blunt Girly touched on too, like skin bleaching and stuff like that. Let's just say like the whole Paris Milan situation. I didn't agree that she was like a skin bleacher, because I am a little black girl. And well, I was a little black girl. And when I was, at summer camp, because I went to summer camp every summer when I was a kid, I would get really dark. And right now, like I'm not. So if you're saying that she's a skin bleacher because of that, like you're probably not monoracial. And that's one of the things for me that even confirmed, prior to like the doxing and stuff like that, that EU was actually, a biracial or, mixed race. So, because any little monoracial black girl knows that we all get dark. We all dark skin when it's summertime and we kids and we playing. So a picture of her younger and then a picture of Paris Milan now with a more caramel skin tone sitting in the sun, it didn't really give skin bleacher to me. But what made it her talking point last, and why everyone else was being kind of funny, was because EU doesn't bleach her skin. Not that I know of. She talks about like, glutathione and stuff like that, which is like a vitamin that you can find in fruits and stuff. You probably are consuming this on a regular and don't even know it. But you know what you are consuming that you do know? Turmeric soap and all the other stuff. And that's the stuff that Paris Milan was using. So it's skin lightening either way. Maybe not bleaching, but it's skin lightening either way. And this is why I adored regular black girl, her term shade shifting. I adored that because I experienced that. That clicked to me. That's like, okay, that's the little black girl that had my experience growing up. So, and I believe that regular black girl is monoracial, I believe. So, yeah, that's why I really connected to that. So that just shows you right there, the exotical space, we're not groupthink. We're not one-track minded. We all have our own little opinions. And the only person that wants you to have one opinion, and if you don't agree with 100%, she's, you know what? No, we're going to get into that later. Something else that I wanted to say was, in one of Blunt Girly's videos, I think like the first one she did, she used one of my pictures, and now I'm trying not to laugh, y'all. This shit is hilarious. But in some of the pictures, she was making fun of people's wigs, and I feel like if you have like a funny mole on your face and you make fun of it first, when someone else does it, it's just not funny. I don't know. But like EU has made it very clear that she loves synthetic pieces and she doesn't care. Like, I don't know. So I don't know if it's like hard wig, soft life. I don't know. But like that just didn't eat. It didn't eat. And if you got to resort to someone's looks instead of their talking points, yeah. But anyways, another talking point that she's never going to address is that Yeah, you used my pictures. You couldn't call me ugly, so you called me fat. Nice coping mechanism. But the part that really gets me is that picture that you used, that was before the EU and Blunt Girly drama. That was like almost 2 months ago now, you guys. I already let it be known that I felt her weird energy, that she was subbing me a month ago before any of this happened. So how can you say that I'm in a caught and I'm just, one of EU's little minions, one of her little flying monkeys making videos when I was doing this before she even fell out with you? And I didn't even mention Blunt Girly's name because I'm a real bitch. I don't resort to doxing and making fun of someone's looks. I stuck to the talking points. Let's talk about Hallie. So where did you get that from? It gives, I don't think Blunt Girly is unintelligent. I like her. Like, it doesn't make sense to support someone and say, oh, well, I was just supporting who was supporting me. And I actually didn't believe. No, I like some of her talking points. I just think, I think that she has this thing with women. And, I mean, that's her life path. Do what works for you. If being like that works for you, great. But a lot of people don't like the energy, babe. And people are allowed to have oppository opinions. They're allowed to do that. And I noticed that was only a problem with her when her channel started growing. That's just what I noticed. And, I don't like putting people in boxes, but the only group of people who have done this in the exotic community, like, kind of look a certain way. And again, if you want to, just keep it about the drama, we can do that too. I'm not here to, what's funny? When I said in my last video that I wanted to be a bridge, and I said this in my very first video, you can go click my very first video I ever did. So just so you don't think I'm just pulling shit out of my ass, because apparently that's what people do now. If you go look at any of those videos that I just mentioned, you'll know that I said I wanted to be able to bridge these things, because not all of us are redundant. A lot of us really do have good advice. And not everything is a one size fits all. Some things are interchangeable, some things aren't. And there's many different ways to be a woman. There's many different ways to enjoy life on your terms and do it in a way that makes you feel safe and comfortable. And that's just all I was ever saying. But when I say it, you want to treat me like I'm a grifter, And I've listened to Chrissy's channel. I've listened to, other exoticals and people in the biracial sphere and people that have left the exotical space. And the common denominator is we all want what's best for us, okay? And if you like Blunt Girly's channel, I'm not here to tell you not to follow her, or if you follow her, you're this or that. Ain't that the same shit Chrissy said? That if you're a dark-skinned girl and you support the exotical space, you're just a token, and now look how they acting? So, no, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I've always never been like that. So with Gigi saying like, oh, it's a cult, you guys all think the same thing, or even Blunt Girly saying, oh, you guys are ugly, which she couldn't say that about me, so. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's really disappointing, it really, really is, because I didn't start this YouTube channel for this at all. So yeah. Another thing that I found kind of weird is and I was snooping on Blunt Girly's live, and I didn't want to watch it because the energy is just off, and I'm having a really good day, and I can't do it. But I clicked in and I saw her and y'all, I don't want this on my channel, but this is what was being said. She was calling people slow, calling people the R word, hard R, not N-E-R, not that one, but what you would call a slow person, the hard R. And just all types of stuff, just crashing out, spazzing out, all types of things, saying if you study sociology, you're Riri, and all this other stuff. And it's just, and I mentioned just before, not even just with Blunt Girly or anything, other creators too. If you have good talking points, I'm going to take them into consideration. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to burn a bridge. If I ever commented on your stuff, you have something worth listening to. But if your message is being overshadowed by this weird energy, I just can't get past it sometimes. And that's just not personal. Even with music, even if there's a really good beat, if what I'm hearing doesn't sit right with my soul, I just can't do it. So if I was to unfollow someone, it would be like that. I don't need to burn a bridge. And then on the live, she was saying, she's classy and EU is a crazy psycho person for giving her 24 hours to respond. And I'm just no, because again, our original beef. And the thing is, I didn't really see it as beef. Again, if you go watch my videos, I really didn't even think it was about me. Like, I was just mindlessly enjoying the content until I realized, like, the talking points lined up. And then she made a post basically saying that because we both used the word grace, even though it was in two completely different contexts. And throughout my entire channel's history, I've always supported Hallie. She rarely makes videos on her. She doesn't even like her. I've been supporting Hallie for a very, very long time. Why would I all of a sudden make a video just to beef with you when literally that same day you commented on my channel liking it? The stuff has gone out, but you can look at my last video to see that, and I think it shows timestamps, or you can just look at the video she commented on to see what time I'm talking about. But she was saying, oh, well, I didn't like EU. I haven't liked her for months now. I barely really, really liked her. And I was speaking to other subs, and they said that they don't like her either. But it's like, how, though? Because you've been commenting on my channel. The video I did about the statue, the video I did about, what was it? The Pop the Balloon. Those are like recent videos, like within the context of before me and her fell out. So you were liking my videos the same day that you fell out with me. You didn't fall out with me until you made the videos about Halle Bailey. So what now? When someone gives you a month, it doesn't even mention your name, and it's kind, the way I was, then I'm just a fat loser. But when she gives you 24 hours to respond, she's Riri and Psycho, and you're going to throw her ex-marriage in her face. And mind you, we don't know if any of that stuff is her, but at this point, everyone's saying that it is. So we're going to defend this person because whether this is EU or not, this is a real person. This is a real person. And it's just really distasteful. It's really disturbing. It's not classy to me at all. I don't think I handled everything perfectly. I probably should have been more direct because a lot of people were saying you guys didn't even know she was dissing me. And maybe if I was more direct, I could have, sensed this coming. But I just thought, we disagreed on so many different things. I'm thinking back now, like I'm having like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast. And I might be getting this wrong because there were other creators that disagree with me too, but we never fell out. So just bear with me here. I think it was like Ice Spice when the Cleopatra stuff happened. Some people felt like Ice Spice was being victimized because she's an Exotical, and some people felt, no, that bitch is fake. And I think she was on like the oppository side. And I actually didn't disagree with a lot of stuff. I think she is kind of fake. But I also know that people, treat her different because of the way she looks. I actually think we were both right. But yeah, I think there was another video about she was saying if you wear lace fronts, then men won't take you seriously. I don't wear lace fronts. The picture she put up of me, you can see that I wear like my natural hair. But yeah, no, like that's kind of fucked up. And I just remember thinking, what? Like, even I did a video, like, what makes the hairstyle ghetto? I don't do baby hairs. You saw the picture of me, you can see that. It just doesn't look right on my face. But I'm a cosmetologist. I love doing hair. And when my girls want it, I give it to them because I think it's ethereal. I know she don't like that word, but I think it's beautiful. That's what I was saying. Like, what makes the hairstyle ghetto? Like, if it's, now certain things obviously are ghetto. We're not going to be redundant here. But I just thought like baby hairs, I thought it was just very beautiful and very feminine. But I think anything that Black women like, people just want to act like it's the devil, like it's the worst thing in the world, And I even brought up in this video, what makes the hairstyle ghetto. I even brought up, wait a minute, 1 second. I even brought up Jewish women and how they wear like wigs for their religion. I brought up, and they use it as a form of veiling because they can't like show their hair. Some people wear hijabs, some people wear prayer scarves, some people veil for whatever reasons. And I brought up spiritual reasons why some people don't like wearing their loose hair. And there's a lot of different things that I'm just thinking, why is it that when a Black woman does it, it's like the worst thing in the world? I brought up Harajuku culture, like in Japan, and how Japanese girls, they wear like wigs, as you can obviously tell isn't their real hair, but it's a style, it's fashion, it's adorable. But when a Black girl does it, you're just ghetto because a man sees you as a fun girl. And I thought that was a little bit off, but like I really didn't take it personal. I stayed with the talking points and I just gave my own personal opinion. I put a little spiritual twist on it. That's what I do. It was never an issue. And I noticed that with her, it was when she got more of an audience. And even she herself said that before she really started distancing herself from EU, that she spoke to her subscribers that told her, yeah, do that. Like, you're listening to yes men. Now, granted, if you really, I've seen people leave the exotical space because they just don't like it no more. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, like, if you don't fuck with it, that's fine. But let other people tell you what to believe. That's just odd to me. Like, let it be of your own, you know? I don't know. I'm an Aries, so that kind of like irks me. Nobody's going to tell me what to believe. And I'm mentioning all these different creators and all these different videos that were oppository because I've always stood against culture. And I was even saying this for Chrissy. This is a video I did a year ago on reverse psychology and how to know if you're in a cult. Chrissy used the exact same tactics, making it seem like if you enjoy this space then you're a psycho. But girl, you was just on everybody's comment section agreeing. So which is it? So yeah. And this is why I say don't delete comments and you don't gotta agree with me. This isn't a conversation where if you don't listen to me, then you can't keep a man and you're just fat and ugly and you're probably a Riri. No. Come on. We all girls in like our 20s, early to mid to late 20s. Ain't that what we all is? We don't got the answers. We're supposed to be here to share information, learn from each other. What don't work for me, okay, I'll leave that, but maybe that can help another woman. So maybe your advice isn't 100% for me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come into consideration. So how all of a sudden everybody in this community is one way when literally the same day you fell out with me, you were under my comment section? So it's just really weird. And even I have said that, like, even like with Brown Bunny, when she was disagreeing with me, I said, look, girl, I like your channel. I think you're cute. You don't gotta think, you think I'm being wishy-washy because I'm not bashing people. But pause. If I bash someone, then I'm just a psycho exotical. But if I like try to be nice and wait and give you a month to respond and don't even say your name and you're still subbing me in your videos, then I'm wishy-washy? Then what do you want me to do? Not have my own opinion? Then I'm in a cult. What do you want me to do? So, and another thing, my Mars sign, if you guys don't know about zodiacs, you have more than one zodiac sign and there's different planets and these planets represent different energies. And the planet of Mars, there's lots of different ways to explain it, but for me, it's how you problem solve and how you, handle conflict. And if your Mars happens to be in a sign that's very impulsive, like I'm an Aries, Aries is a very impulsive sign. My Mercury is in Aries, so when I speak, I can be a little, straightforward, a little blunt, a little, straight to the dome. But my Mars is in Virgo. And Virgo is the sign, you think about like Beyonce, Virgo is the sign of really taking your time with something and being critical and analyzing everything, maybe over analyzing everything, critiquing not just that other person, but yourself. And throughout the history of my channel, you know that I've always done this. Always. So that's how I leaned into this situation. I noticed that she mentioned her Mars, and I'm bringing up zodiac signs because it's relevant to me. If you don't believe in this, that's fine for you. But it means a lot to me. And I think that and I always put a spiritual twist on my stuff because it's just a new level of understanding, And because we're all women, and none of this, it's not even like anybody's beefing on actual talking points. I notice when even Blunt Girly does bring up talking points, she'll say something and then spend the rest of the video basically validating one statement and using people as like, just justifiable collateral towards her original statement. But when you try to bring in nuance, she'll say you're doing whataboutism. So she doesn't really like sticking to talking points, but I like to make it about spirituality because I've noticed that when it comes to a lot of these beefs, a lot of this shit was very personal. Not even just Blunt Girly, but like Kia Roan and her insecurity. And I mentioned this in my last video about like mommy issues and how some women, this pick-me-ism stuff, it doesn't really start with men. It actually starts with women and her relationship with her mother. And I'm only bringing this up because she brought up her relationship with her father and brought up EU's relationship with her father. And, as we're all black girls, we all know that our relationships with our fathers, is something people like to make fun of us for. So just even that was like a low hit. But since we're there, let's talk about it. Being a pick-me doesn't start with a guy for a girl. It starts with her parents. And if a woman doesn't have a good relationship with her mother, that can kind of, and I'm not saying that they was beefing or nothing, but like just that energy of not having that maternal connection and being a daddy's girl and then turning into a pick-me and then eventually you morph into the final form, a boy mom. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it's really weird to me. And seeing it happen in live time, like, I've mentioned this on my channel a lot. So I don't want to be like attacking any of these women individually. I'm just pointing out things that I noticed. And when it comes to the way she likes to problem solve, it's in a very Hawk angry, Hawk smash type of way. And I know that because I'm an Aries. And she mentioned that her Mars is in Aries, which is how you problem solve. Me, my Mars is in Virgo. So you might think my videos are kind of boring because I like to overanalyze things. I like to go through facts. I like to, put on my little nerdy glasses and give you guys all the facts and all the information as if was like a jury and I was an attorney and you guys are the people and you guys need to, come to a conclusion on your own. I actually don't even like to give you guys my opinion towards the end because I don't think it's relevant because you're going to believe what you want anyway. I'm just here to give you the information. So don't put me into the groupthink stuff because I've never been that. But yeah, and I don't know EU's Mars sign. It would be interesting to know. If she's comfortable putting that out there, let us know because I can give you some tips on how to use yours better. Because I'm always open to that. I think the only downfall of my Mars in Virgo is that when it comes to like problem solving, I can move a little bit slow. Like I'm not quick to act, which is actually really good because Aries is very impulsive, like I said, and my sun sign is Aries. But that's what I love about my Virgo Mars is that when stuff like this happens, I'm not so quick to burn a bridge and act like I never liked you or I never agree with your content and you're just a crazy psycho and you can't keep a man. Like I don't do that. And I don't know. I don't think that was very classy at all. So, yeah, and I'm not going to stop bringing this up. Clearly, this is not going to end anytime soon. Even like with the Chrissy stuff, I really don't bring up Chrissy unless it's relevant. I don't bring up the beef at all because it's just not relevant. But I'm going to be using this entire thing as a case study, not to continue to beef with any of these women. I probably won't mention them by name, but this whole phenomenon has truly fascinated me. And I want to alchemize this and I want you to do the same if you're listening to this still. Don't just consume these videos and allow these things to make you biased or make you feel weighted by someone else's opinion or experience. You're your own person. But if you want to learn from this, so you can avoid this, or maybe you've already been through this and you want to understand it better so you can avoid it again, learn how to alchemize everything to your best and highest outcome, regardless of what the situation is. And I'm going to be using this altercation, this incident, as a way to not only teach myself, but to give you guys all the information so you can pick up what you need and do better in life. Because just letting this just be a beef and letting people make it bigger than what it really is, I have no interest in that. I'm reporting on this because, one, it is kind of disappointing, and I hope that if I speak out on it, it won't happen again. And two, because I am going to alchemize the fuck out of this shit. I think most of the creators that I mentioned on this, video have really good opinions. And, just because we fell out doesn't mean I'm not grateful for you guys sharing your point of view. And something that some other channels mentioned, I forget the names, but these weren't people in the exotical space. These were people that were reporting on it. And someone mentioned that they feel like EU has the revenge of the nerd syndrome, where if you were like a smart girl, like a nerdy girl, you're mad at like the pretty popular girl. But then some people feel like Blunt Girly has the kill the cheerleader syndrome. Like you're the evil Regina George that calls everyone fat, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, she definitely gives like Regina George to me. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, and I feel like just these archetypes of women, it goes back to what I was always saying about like, the Madonna whore complex is not directly related to the situation, but just the idea that a woman can be a multifaceted, complex individual that has morals that might be contradicting at times without being a full person, that can be recognized and respected. I hate that narrative. I hate the narrative that if we don't 100% agree with each other, then there's just nothing. Like we look at each other as if we're beneath one another. Like, oh, I'm better than you, or you can't sit with us. This means girl mentality. I hate that. And then she says, like, she was being classy and respectful because she ignored EU, when that's not what that is. If someone whether we're acquaintances, we work together, we're friends, whatever, associates, classmates, whatever. If there's some type of rapport, you could be the fucking mailman. If we have some type of rapport and someone tells you, hey, I think this person's talking about you, and I come to you, now people don't even have to do that. Some people are here, they're talking about you and run with it. So someone even coming to you saying, hey, I heard this, like, what's going on? That's grace. You know what I'm saying? And if you block that person and ignore them and don't even want to talk about it, they're going to assume whatever that person told them is true. And now you're saying she's crazy for responding to you. Like, you know what I don't like about some Pisces? And the men do this too. They like to do little subtle things. They like to throw little pebbles and then hide their hands. And this is something I noticed that she did with me because, I didn't get to put a timestamp on her to respond. I think I even said that I'm not expecting an apology from her. I just was confused on what I said that like hurt her because watching the video, the energy was just like so mean. And it's just like, girl, like, there's no way that me defending Halle Bailey really upset you that bad. And you're saying she act like a toddler. You literally blocked me. And I didn't know how blocking worked. I thought that she went and undid every comment. I didn't know if you blocked someone that their comments disappear. I didn't know how that worked. So, and I'd have videos from a month ago proving that. But now that I know what that is, like, you blocked me because I defended a woman that was getting abused. Like, that's not mentally stable to me. So I don't know. And I'm not saying you needed to come to me or tell me anything. If you don't like my channel anymore, that's fine, babe. But you're saying that you would distance yourself from the exotical space when I'm not even that big of a creator. That Halle Bailey video only has 200 views. So what do you mean? And again, you don't gotta support anybody you don't want to support. But like, I never did shit to you. So you can't use that excuse that, just because you handled some shady shit differently, you had two different opportunities from someone who was more lenient and really didn't care if you wanted to follow me or not. I just wanted to keep on the talking points like, hey, I don't feel like having empathy for an abuse victim is enabling abuse. That was literally what my video was titled. A lot of people didn't even know it was about Blunt Girly because I didn't make it about her. I kept it about the talking points. So even when someone does keep it about the talking points, you ignore it. But when someone, is personal, they email you, they mention you by name, then you want to call them crazy. So what is someone supposed to do? Just shut up and listen to what you have to say? And I noticed that you said that, you got this idea to distance yourself from from your subscribers. And it's like, I don't know. That's just kind of off to me. I'm not going to lie. It's really, really off. And, and you guys listening to this, again, you can make your own opinions on this. I don't think, and I saw some other people that were doing some reactions to this too, and they're upset that these girls are beefing. I'm not the only one that's just like, damn, that sucks. Because a lot of people like both of the channels, and they have more things in common than not. And like I said before, there's more than one way to be a woman. There's more than one way to have pleasure in life and feel like you're getting, the best possible outcome for the type of life that you want. There's multiple ways to do that. And just because you're associating yourself with someone that does it differently than you doesn't mean you guys both aren't aiming towards the same thing. So it's just very disappointing in my personal opinion. And on both ends too. I think that, even just me personally, I think I should have been definitely more direct because now everything is getting lost in translation. And I'm grateful that I was as lenient as I was, because if I was to be, rah, like, okay, why are you beefing with me? Why are you da-da-da-da-da? Then she would have just been able to be like, oh, all the exoticals are crazy. So the fact that I even am as, lenient as I was, it proves my point even more. So now what? Now what? Oh, and another thing that I was hearing in some of the, like the OG exotical spaces was that now I was none the wiser what Blunt Girly looks like. I'm not the type of person that goes, well, show me what you look like. No, show me your full body. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, so I just always assumed her profile picture was her. Like, I thought she was one of the few exoticals that show their faces. Like, I was literally none the wiser. But I don't know if this is true or not, but I guess someone's saying that is a biracial woman in that photo and that it's not her. And I don't know. I don't have like her membership, but I heard her say in some videos that she did show herself. So I just always assumed it was her. But even that, like, I don't know. Isn't that something that people would critique the exoticals for, like showing pictures of biracial women, but you're monoracial, whether you look like them or not? So I'm not going to give her that critique. But something I did find interesting was that, and this was another thing that we ended up beefing on. And when I say beef, I just mean like we just didn't agree with one another, but there was really no fallout at this time. But something, and she was subbing me, y'all. Go watch those videos. Any video about Halle Bailey or about saying that women are young, or if you have empathy, you enable abuse, because all those were directed towards me. Go watch those. She was saying that, yeah, that we both were saying that we were like 5'6", 5'7", and she thought that that was like super duper tall, and she's from Cali where people are really short. And I'm like a Midwestern girl, so like where I'm from, people are average, and I've always been told that I'm like average heighted. And in that video where she was saying, oh well, if you say that she's young, you're enabling abuse. Remember what she was saying? She was saying, oh, there's nothing average about me, not my height. Why would she mention her height? Because that was like a little sub towards me. And I didn't really want to believe it at first because, like, I don't know. I'm not listening to her through the lens of being reactive or taking things offensively. But once I got through the video, I realized, like, damn, like, you just riffing everything I was just saying. And when I checked my comments, all her comments were gone. I'm just like, damn, really? So, I don't know. It's just something that I've noticed where, like, I think it was just like festering in her that everybody doesn't agree to the same shit that she agreed to, and she takes it personally, and then like wants to sub you, and then when you put a video out there, or like like you did, and reach out to her, she'll just ignore you. Like people aren't going to say something back. And I think it's really weird. I really, really do. And I'm not here to tell her how to problem solve. If she wants to hawk hangry, hawk smash, and burn every bridge, then that's her. But even the people in the OG exotical space feel like it was distasteful. These were the same girls that you were uplifting a month ago, and now you're acting like they're all just femcel lesbians that can't keep a man, that are fat and ugly and Riri. Like, are you serious? This is really how you want to go out? So I'm gonna play just a few clips from that 3 hour live, and just so you guys can see what I was talking about. And I'm sorry if the energy is a little bit off, but this is just what she's doing at this point, and I am documenting all of it. A lot of the times when it comes to the lives, she'll like delete it and then like backtrack, and then when you say something about it, she'll act like you're attacking her. Or the title of the live is how people are running smear campaigns on her. When listen, when I saw the world bashing Halle Bailey because, well, we told you so, you should have chose better, a lot of people were right about that. But there were other people that wanted to say, okay, she got the message, let's give her grace. And you sat there and told people that wanted to give her grace that they were enabling abuse and that they wanted her to be abused. You literally said that out of your own mouth. You didn't say it kindly. You didn't say it classily. You literally attacked people and said, well, if you're giving Halle Bailey grace, you're probably old, bitter, a single mother, and fat. How is that rooted in logic and statistics in any way, shape, or form? How? And then a lot of people only felt the need to defend Halle Bailey because she was getting so many smear campaigns ran on her by her ex and by the public. So when I want to give her grace because people are running smear campaigns on her, I'm not allowing black women to take accountability. But let someone tell the truth about you. Let multiple people say how you've treated them, then all of a sudden it's a smear campaign. Where's your accountability? Or do you want grace that nobody else can get? Oh, and since we're still on this topic, a smear campaign is when one person that is in control of other people, whether these people are aware that they're being used as pawns or not, are attacking someone and making up lies about someone. A smear campaign is not a bunch of people exposing you for shit that you fucking did. That's not how that works. A smear campaign is making up lies. Lies like, I don't know, trying to say that Halle Bailey threatened to off her baby when she only threatened to off herself. Like, that's not something women with postpartum go through. Is it an excuse? No. Should your mental illness be someone else's problem? No. But starting a rumor that she tried to end her baby, you're the only person saying that. Nobody else said that. And the whole rumor where, oh, we can't give Halle Bailey grace because she didn't do it to Ruby Rose, you're a liar. You are a liar. That narrative didn't exist prior to you. That was a lie. I don't know where, and at first I gave her grace because maybe she got like the information wrong from someone. We all do that sometimes. But to tell the whole world that, Halle Bailey doesn't deserve grace, we know she's getting smear campaigns ran on her because she didn't give it to Ruby Rose when that was never the truth. You literally lied about that. You cut me off over a lie. A lie. And for what? But no, nobody else deserves grace but you. When everybody else gets their accountability, it's accountability. But let someone tell the truth about you, and it's a smear campaign. Which is funny because in my video, I did How to Fall from Grace with Grace. And then she did the whole, oh, well, she's young. And, oh, you're just a miserable, fat, bitter, older woman. And then I came back and said, and you probably like it when women are getting abused. And I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on now. All I was saying was I have empathy for this girl. That doesn't mean I enable abuse or I enable her bad behavior. And I literally said in my video that enabling it isn't the same as empathy, that smear campaigns are real. You weren't even worried about smear campaigns when it was Halle Bailey. Now, granted, she's a celebrity, so who really gives, a crap? But at the end of the day, that's still a human being. So it's one of those things where it's like very hypocritical. When you do something, it's a smear campaign and everyone's lying. But let someone else want to defend another woman that's being kicked when she's already down and I'm enabling abuse. Do you realize how psychotic that is? So yeah, like I'm not a yes man. No one's gonna tell me what to believe, what not to believe. And the choice is yours to get this information and make your own decisions. But yeah, I don't like have any resentment towards this person. I felt initially weird that she would, try to fall out with me over something so silly, and then she kept subbing me instead of addressing me directly. And then I don't know what it is. Something, she just doesn't seem like a happy person. She just keep like subbing people, and then when people address her directly, you call them crazy. Like that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Twice a week. So I literally could not tolerate her stupidity anymore. Her channel was just growing stupid. Okay? I couldn't tolerate that anymore. And it was getting so bad, I slowly oh, and that's another thing. Hold on, I'm trying to think. How should I tell this story? Hold on. Okay. So she does the whole cult thing on her channel, the group thinking thing, the repetition. She talks about the same 3 tired topics. That was also getting tired. But the problem is, and I'm glad, I was getting tired of her stupid audience on my channel because they tend to group think. And so they have this group thinking thing, like she shoves the decenter men down your throat. So they think like that. And then she shoves the, oh, you got to be biased towards MLS people down their throat. And that's fine. But don't take your dumb ass on my channel, right? Don't take yourself on my channel and think I'm about to be obeying your group thinking. Honey, I'm not what y'all got going on. I'm me. So I critically think, I don't care if you are black, white, purple, or green. You are going to get these critiques on my channel. I'm not biased towards anybody. Okay? But her audience started getting on my nerves on my channel because they would be biased and throwing fits. Like if I wanted to do a video on Halle Bailey, they would be, I don't like the way she critiqued that MLS woman or whatever the fuck. I'm sorry, I'm going to be cussing. Whole feminism, it destroys families. That's why her husband ended up leaving her. Okay? Hold on, this was her. Ah, shit. We have a psychological jackpot. You guys are only shaming single baby mothers because you think that her value comes from a man. Single baby mamas can do it all by themselves. Their value doesn't come from a man. Their value, it doesn't come from a man. And I'm just like, what are you, bro? Please go touch. So I'm actually breaking down why EU is retarded.
Anyways, y'all, this is all I got for you guys. I just wanted to give my opinion. I wanted to give my nuance and just reiterate some things. I don't know if it's just the the rumors or the propaganda from the exoticals that don't like this space anymore. But there's been this ongoing narrative that I think even like last year, people were saying that, um, you know, all the exotical channels are secretly just one or two people. Like, no, we are all different people. We all clearly have different opinions and we don't always get along. There is no groupthink over here. If there was, there wouldn't be so much drama. So just admit that you have a hard time when people don't 100% agree with you. Like, if anything, that's a call. If the moment that someone says something you don't like, you have to, like, act like they don't matter or they don't exist and attack them personally, that's a call, baby. A call isn't, we all have our own different opinions. And that's basically what the exotical space is. It's, the exotical space even existing is anti-cult. Because the only reason why it exists is because some of the pro black spaces, they alienized certain looking women to where they couldn't even speak up if they wanted to. That was the original, don't ask, don't tell, we're all black, shut up, get over it, your experience isn't as bad as mine, to even claim yourself as an exotical and actually be one. We're not talking about the mentally ill people that y'all like making fun of, which isn't right. Anyways, but to be a real exotical, someone that, you suffer with this isn't just, a badge of honor. It's something you've dealt with your entire life. To even acknowledge that is a form of free think, not group think. Because group think would have been like the rest of the miserable colorism crybabies. Dark skinned girls that always want to be the biggest victim, but then somehow feel like, and then even EU said that. You go from being the biggest victim and everybody's doing you so wrong to now you're the big bad wolf and you're so much better than everyone and you're statistically better than everyone and you're the blueprint. Which is it? Which is it? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little messy, but I had to point out some of the lies because a lot of people from the outside looking in, they're not going to watch a 3-hour live. They're not going to do all of the research. So I'm glad that I'm speaking up to put the truth out there because leave it to certain people, you would be lost. So yeah, thank you so much and have a beautiful day.